Pal World. So imagine it's 2012. You just picked up a fresh copy of Pokemon Black or White. You are itching. Every muscle in your body is trying to get your ass back in mom's car so you can get home and plug this bitch into your Nintendo. All the excitement, all the waiting, all the dreaming coming to this moment when you boot up that game for the first time and are immersed in a magical, wonderful world of beasts, creatures, pets, illegal fights, boss fights, puzzles, and friends. Most importantly, a new world to explore. Grow the fuck up, get your ass off Minecraft, and hop into Pokemon, because this shit's where it's at. This is where all the adults are at, having adult fun on their adult time. Or so it seems from what is being said on the internet. Oh, Boogie. Never change. Anyways, your little fucking smooth brain is firing in all directions, thinking, how could this get any better? As you find that shiny Lapras and your fucking life comes to its climax, your little brain is thinking, the next step, the level up, guns, and sweatshops, slavery. Just imagine the world you could create if you could just put these helpless little creatures to work, doing something useful, like manufacturing my AKs. Well, look no further, because Pal World just came out. It's January 2024, and the biggest game of the year has just dropped. Pal World, the game nobody can seem to stop talking about right now. When you can take all these concepts, bring them to life, explore a new world, run around, have fun with your friends, and slaughter some critters. Unfortunately, not everyone feels as good as the rest of us about Pal World. Even with such a revolutionary game coming out, with studios putting their legs on the line, trying to create something unique in this day and age with how stale the market is, the internet just can't get behind it. So today, we're going to talk about the 2 or 3 sides of the Pal World conflict. Now, it's not actually all bad. The first side of the conflict actually seems to love Pal World for the fresh concept that it actually is. It's sold over 5 million copies in the first week. I think as of today, it's sitting at 12 million copies sold, and it's still in early access. Now, I haven't actually booted up the game myself, although from the player review that I've seen so far, everyone's raving about how fun it is and how it actually makes use of the gimmick that it's trying to sell. Granted, there are some glitches, some shortcomings, but I mean, it's early access, and what games don't have issues these days? It's not like 2009 where we can just go to the fucking GameStop and pick up a copy of Halo 2 and just play it. That's not the space anymore. A lot of people were super hyped for this game, saying that it could be the best thing to come from any Mon type game, especially the schlock that Game Freak has been spilling for the past 20 years. And I agree. Nothing has caught the general public's attention. No monster catching adventure having, well, I guess this one has elements of survival as well, but none have this much attention and this much success. In recent years, we've been bombarded by half-baked, oversold AAA disasters. And yet, we finally get a saving grace. A fresh, fun idea with unknown consequences on the gaming space. Who knows what the future could look like? But right now, it fucking sucks. A new frontier for gamers. Back in 2021, when Pal World was announced, I can admit we were a little worried. It was a promising game structure without pre-existing delivery. Naturally, we were all excited. Although, also naturally, we had some concerns. How is the game going to turn out? Is it going to be everything it's cracked up to be? How is it going to play? Is it going to last in the gamer space? As of recording this video, Palworld's explosive popularity dropped, allegedly by around 50%. So the will it last question now comes into play. Is the content good enough to keep people interested? With so many popular creators just absolutely loving Palworld and everything it has to offer, what exactly is the problem some people seem to have with this revolutionary new game? Our first problem child is the Pokemon fantasizer. The guy who believes nothing can beat Pokemon. Pokemon is the pinnacle. Pokemon is all there ever will be. And it is the best. The adult saying, we don't like this copycat of our childhood memories. We don't like change. I'm not saying it's a bad thing to have an issue with this game. Of course you can have your own opinion on this game. But some of their opinions, I just don't find all that valid. Kicking off with this article The Gamer published 5 days ago. Quote, Palworld has already grown dull and repetitive. How can it be the second most played game on possibly the biggest gaming marketplace and it's still repetitive and boring? I just don't understand that. Makes it a little hard to believe that these journalists actually play the games that they're talking about, or are they just saying this based off of some things they saw on Twitter? We all know there are some dog shit takes on Twitter, and actually that's where most of the gripes for Palworld are coming from. Twitter, Reddit, sometimes I've seen a few on Instagram saying that it's a terrible game, but I don't believe that any of these people have actually tried the game yet. Granted, this is all just based off what I have seen on the internet. Don't come after me for some shit that I didn't see, some shit that I missed. Along with these accusations of the game being an empty husk, a hull of a ship that never sailed, we also have some extremely interesting accusations that this game is an asset flip.
Calling it an asset flip, I think, is some absolute smooth brain nonsense. Either you don't know what an asset flip game is, or you're just baiting engagement through being incendiary for the sake of some numbers on your tweets. There's just no way anyone genuinely thinks that about this game. Palworld should not even be in the same sentence as asset flip. Does it use assets? Absolutely. You know what else does? Everything else. Every other game in existence uses assets to different degrees. Palworld is no exception there. There is clearly assets there, but it's not the bulk of the game. It's not entirely composed of it or anything like that. They're used in their product the same way they are in every other major release. It's not a fucking asset flip.
So where are these claims of asset flipping coming from? There's a lot of people saying this game is a scam. I've seen a few people saying that this game is a money grab and it costed, a toenail and an ass hair to make. I mean, the budget wasn't very big. I believe it was around 7 million, but I don't understand where these asset flip accusations are coming from. Now, the one claim that I have seen that I can get behind is the claim that they copied a lot of their designs for the PALs off of many of the designs for the Pokemon, and you can clearly see that they do take a lot of inspiration from Pokemon, but that was their aim. They were aiming to take a beloved franchise and twist it in a fun way. If you don't like seeing your beloved characters, adapted or reskinned into a new game, that's fine. You're entitled to that. But I believe that the work put into these designs and just the fact that they had to come up with so many in such a short time span, and the fact that Pokemon can't really do much better in this day and age, I just think that these accusations are kind of red herrings to the content of the game itself and actually appreciating the game and the design and the inspiration that it drew from. And just as a bonus, since I think it's so funny, I think I actually would like to go through a few of the biggest sore thumbs sticking out as to the direct inspiration they took from the Pokemon to design these pals. So I'm just going to look at a few of them and see if it's silly or not. So I've seen a lot of shit online that's saying like Pal World has been stealing their models and just using AI to redesign their pals from Pokemon. And I mean, there's a couple of these that are pretty bad, admittedly. Pretty much direct reskins or just color rips, or I mean, that one's a little far fetched, but I mean, come on, like stuff like this. Yeah, I don't really. I mean, there's no way to defend stuff like these. It just doesn't. Well, I think that the AI part was a little bit over exaggerated. I mean, it's hard to design hundreds of brand new creatures based on another game without using inspiration from that other game. They could have been put a little more work into these, but I don't know, man. It's not looking too good. But I just really don't think it's that bad. Obviously Nintendo hasn't sued them yet. Either they just don't care very much, or it wasn't actually that big of an infringement. Actually, I heard, yeah, weren't they? Didn't Pokemon actually respond? What did they say here? Oh my god. We intend to investigate. Despite the controversy surrounding its peculiar PAL designs, Pal World has sold over 8 million copies. I think it's sitting at more closer to 13 million now, isn't it? Something like that. And the Pokemon Company has finally come with an official statement regarding Pal World's alleged copycat creatures. It looks like the Pokemon Company may be taking legal action against Pal World, but it's still too early to know. Okay, well, I'm full of shit then. I guess if is Pal World guilty of copying Pokemon designs? There's currently no solid proof that Pocket Pair has purposefully used design from Pokemon. CEO of Pocket Pair has been accused of maybe even using AI to rip off. I mean, yeah, like it's so easy. Of course, they're going to accuse them of using AI to rip the designs, but like both games have merit, and both games use the same strategy to try and get you know the most children and the most diaper adults to play. But I just don't think it's like that big of a deal. Not Mon inspired designs. I don't even know what these are supposed to be. Pal World has amassed 8 million copies sold in under 6 days, set records by surpassing Counter Strike and peak concurrent players on Steam. I mean, people love the game. Like, once it comes out proper release, like Nintendo might pursue something, because then at that point they're actually, selling a fully fledged game that could build their brand. But right now, I mean, this shit's exploding. Like, people love this shit. Is it like, do some people feel the need to try and bury it back under the dirt because it's not what they enjoy, or because they feel left out, or like the fuck is going on here? All in all, I guess the moral of this story is you can think whatever the fuck you want. You can enjoy whatever the fuck you want. You can play whatever games you want. Why create drama where we should just be rejoicing over a great new game being released? I haven't even played the game. I just enjoy watching people play the game. It seems like a great game. It's got that survival aspect that everyone seems to be thirsting for in games right now. That about wraps up how I feel about this situation. But if you want to tell me all about how you feel, or rip me a new one in the comments, I check those every day. So I hope you all have a wonderful day, and just go out and be nice to people.